Hey folks, my name is Tim Collins, and in this video I'm going to give you some tips for memorizing jazz standards. The first tip is the most obvious, and that is to listen to recordings. I find that Frank Sinatra is actually one of the best sources because he very often sings the melody exactly as it was written, in its original form. And so if you're learning a song that's part of the Great American Songbook, Sinatra is a really great source. The second kind of goes right along with that. This is something that's kind of lost on a lot of instrumentalists, and that is to learn the lyrics. Don't just learn the melody and the chords, learn the words, because the words will inform the rhythmic phrasing that you will use to play the melody. Think of it like somebody doing a cover of a really famous song from, my generation, like Smells Like Teen Spirit, for example. If you play the melody to that song on an instrument, everybody's gonna know if you're playing it with the right phrasing as the lyrics dictate or not, because everybody knows the lyrics. And so you should also treat jazz standards with that same amount of respect by learning the lyrics, learning the phrasing. There will be many other nights like this, and I'll be standing there with someone new. I'll spare you that painful experience. Okay, now we get into the more technical stuff. Aside from listening and singing the lyrics and singing the melody, sing the bass notes. And if you can do so, play the melody on piano while singing the bass notes. Boom, D, G, C, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, E flat, C, F, F sharp, B, F, B flat. Sing the melody while playing the bass notes. There will be many other nights like this, and I'll be standing there with someone new. Da 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 da. There will never be another you. Clearly, where I'm going with this is that it's very, very necessary to develop your piano skills if you want to get really good at learning and playing jazz standards, not only from a memorization standpoint, but also really understanding the inner workings of the harmonies of these songs. So, some basic skills you can build up on the piano are being able to play the thirds and the seventh of the chord in the right hand and playing the root note in the left hand throughout an entire song. Play quarter notes in the left hand and whole notes in the right hand. It's easy. So that's an easy way to be able to play the harmony. It doesn't require a lot of finger skill or technical ability on the piano, and it will improve your harmonic knowledge of all these jazz standards and help you memorize them. Once you've gotten past that basic skill level, then you can add the four-note chords with the right hand and do a walking bass line with the left. I like to start with one of two types of bass lines, either the root or the fifth. So on the E-flat chord, it would be like that, or what I call the 1, 2, 3, 5 bass line. So I'm going to plug in one of those two types of bass lines while playing the four-note chord in the right hand. I'll just play the first few bars of that same song, There Will Never Be Another You. Piano skills are essential to becoming a better musician, learning more songs. It doesn't matter if you don't have to become a fantastic pianist, but the basic skills required to at least be able to do what I just did slowly will help you learn these jazz standards. And I already did a little bit of it, but once you can play the bass note and the chords, you should sing the melody at the same time, like what I just did. There will be many other nights like this. Okay, now some practical tips. So aside from building up your skills and singing the bass notes and singing the melody and singing the lyrics and listening to recordings, practically speaking, in terms of organizing your practice, start with the hard parts of the song first. Some songs have notorious difficult sections like Have You Met Miss Jones or the bridge to Girl from Ipanema by Antonio Carlos Jobim. These songs are notorious for messing people up when they get to the bridge. I once had a teacher tell me and explain to me very matter-of-factly, if you play an AABA song structure once, you're always going to be 3 times better at the A section than you are at the bridge. unless you go extra out of your way to practice the bridge more. So start with the bridge, practice it more, and then learn the A sections of the song. Start with the hard part. You will thank me for it later. Actually, thank my teacher who told me, and now I'm telling you. That's Steve Brown, by the way, at Ithaca College. The last step is probably the hardest one, and it's also the most beneficial, and that is to play songs in all 12 keys. This is something, like I said, it requires some basic piano skills, and it definitely will bolster your theoretical knowledge for how the harmonies work, but it is so useful, I cannot recommend it enough. You have to do it. And the more you do it, the quicker you get at it. Think of the learning curve. It's going to be very steep at first, but once you've done 3 or 4 songs in all 12 keys, suddenly you're going to start seeing relationships between songs that you never realized were there, and you're going to start to recognize patterns and hear them, and it's going to be so much easier for you to learn jazz standards. So I highly recommend taking any song, even a song that you already know, and just practicing it in all 12 keys. I'll demonstrate quickly with Satin Doll, because this is a tune that has some movement and it's a little bit confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's not really that hard. Satin Doll is always played in the key of C. We're just going to focus on the root movement. I'll talk about the chords in a second, but the root movement is 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6, and then here's the fun part. 6, 2, flat 6, flat 2. I always name these based on the relationship from C, from the root, and then it goes 1. So flat 6 and flat 2 are not in the key of C. Yes, I know that, but that's the interval that they are above the key of C, and that's how I orient myself so that I can transpose it to other keys. Now, talking about the right hand on that. In this particular song, all of the chords alternate between minor 7th and dominant 7th. So if it's the D chord, it's D minor 7. So D minor 7, G7, D minor 7, E minor 7, A7, E minor 7, A7. Then A minor 7 to D7, A flat, that's the flat 6, minor 7, to D flat 7, that's the flat 2, 1. If I have that basic information in my mind, I can transpose this song very easily. Let's play it in the key of A flat. A flat has this scale. So A flat is 1, so that means 2 is now E flat, so I'm going to play 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6, 6, 2, flat 6, flat 2, 1. That is how you transpose songs to another key. I'll probably do an entire video based on that at a later point. But as a basic concept for how to memorize jazz standards, transposition is your friend. You may hate it at first. Trust me, you will thank me later if you go to the trouble to get good at it. Thank you for watching. Have fun practicing. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and also leave your comments if you think I left something out or if you have some other suggestions for ways to memorize jazz standards. Thank you very much. Bye.